Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to episode 125 of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther Bufford, and now introducing from the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, Joe? What's going on, everyone? What's going on?
Not too much, Geek. Always having fun, because now, introducing, let's give a whoop, Dudes at Ringside podcast. Welcome to a young lady that's getting up there in the podcast world. It's our guest you can see below. Introduce yourself, young lady.
Hi, I'm Samira.
Welcome.
I felt old saying young lady, but I was gonna say, like, I was at work practicing this. I was like, she does a lot of good interviews. She's good.
A lot of interviews with a lot of people.
You're becoming a legend right now on the podcast.
You're a legend right now. It's an honor to have you on Dudes at Ringside. I'm so happy we finally got you on here. Like, when we first got you, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. So if our fans aren't familiar with you and what you do, like us, introduce yourself.
So I've been in the wrestling world for about over 3 years now. I interview professional wrestlers. I work with, as of recently in July, I've worked with SC Scoops, and I've joined back with Wrestling News Co. as their correspondent, which has been really fun, and I've been interviewing since like 2018. I did Wrestling News Co. there for a while and then just joined them back and did myself, as well as I do women's wrestling talk on Fight TV, and I work on the independent scenes, notably with Camp Leapfrog on IWTV.
Awesome.
What would you say your first interview was?
My first interview was with Kelly, actually, over the phone, and it was in, oh my gosh, maybe July or June of 2018. It was really nice talking to her, and because I grew up watching her, so getting to interview was really cool.
Awesome. So do you have any like dream people you want to interview yet? Have you thought of anybody? Like,
100%. I say this to every single interview that asks me this. It's Randy Orton. I've been a fan of Randy since I was little. I got to meet him, and if anybody knows, I'm actually friends with Randy's mom, Elaine, the sweetest woman ever. And I'd love to sit down and interview with him and just talk to him. I really enjoyed his interview with Stone Cold on now Peacock, which it was just so great, and I wanted to hear more. So I hope to one day like have a similar interview like that with him.
Dream interview with me would be Triple H.
I want to get Ray, because like being the grandson of a luchador, just getting a chance to tell him how my grandfather pretty much lit the way for luchadors. Like, I want to see his face when I show him the picture of my grandfather, not because I'm just a fanboy of Ray. I'm 5'1", and Rey Mysterio made me want to make myself feel like a giant in this world of wrestling, because I'm not a wrestler. I'm just a person with a fun microphone. He made me want to be tough. No, I could do it. Not be scared of these people that are bigger than me. You could stand up to them. You could do what you do and just keep going, you know?
Now to get a little bit off topic, what would you say your favorite dream match would be?
What, between two people or
like two wrestlers?
Oh my gosh, I've never thought of that one before. And it could be from any company or
any company. It could be any company. It could be anybody. It could be AEW versus WWE. It could be on the Indies. Anything.
Oh my god. Oh wow. This is I don't know actually. I'm gonna have to think about this one. Okay, I'm gonna do maybe like a women's one and a men's one. Okay. I think I'd love to see Masha Slamovich against Britt Baker. I think that would be
Oh
pretty
crap!
cool. And for a men's one, I want to go with Darius Carter on the independent scene against maybe Randy Orton. I feel like they would be pretty good against each other.
I mean, you can name more if you want, or you could keep it going.
You keep going. I don't
Oh my
care.
gosh. I don't know. I would have to really think. I've never gotten this question before, so that one was pretty cool. I would need a lot of time to think about things because there's just so many people.
I would want to see. I don't know if you ever heard of Mother Endless. Have you ever heard of her?
Mother Endless versus Abaddon.
You know what?
Yes,
You always
that's
say that.
familiar.
I want to. If you saw her, you'd be like, "Oh, I know." She has like this creepy black mask. Here we go. I always say this in funny like wrestling DNA. If the Undertaker and Kane put DNA in a petri dish and they put it in a machine, Mother Endless would come out.
Voice of the year. I'm going to say that much.
Her voice is. I get so mad at me. She sounds like evil Siri.
She's gonna take that kendo stick. She's gonna hit you
She's
with it.
gonna. She comes out with this. She took a kendo stick and painted the handle black, and the top of it's red, so it looks like a lightsaber. It looks like a lightsaber. It feels like a lightsaber too.
Joe, you're walking on thin ice right now, man.
I know. She's gonna hack our show and then be like pop up in the corner, Mr. Panther. I heard you talking about me, saying I sound like evil Siri. Or she's gonna pop up on my screen out of nowhere, FaceTime, without even answering it. It's gonna be like, "Don't ever say I sound like evil Siri again." So my match would be the one I just said, little Mother Endless versus, oof, oh my gosh, not America's Sweetheart, Davion.
That'd be a good one.
Have you ever seen a Davion before?
Yes, she was actually at MLW this past weekend with Hot Scoop
Really?
Styler against Sea Stars. Yeah, it was a great match.
Oh, that was in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, it was in Philly for the War Chamber. It was a very, very good show. I really enjoyed it. Anytime MLW comes around, I just love it.
I wish they would come. I wish they would come like to the small. I know they're a big group, but I wish they would come to like the smaller towns. Like I would love for them to come to Milford. I'd be like, can you help us out, dudes at ringside? We'll talk about your show for months. Like, please. Like,
I know they were in talks with they still haven't announced anything yet about like coming to New York in December because they did talk about Will Ospreay coming in the fall and December. So I wonder where they stand with that. So hopefully they announce something soon.
That's this week though. I think Ospreay versus Amazing Red is this week.
Oh no, that's House of Glory, not Major League Wrestling.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's this week though.
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow night. I saw.
Yeah, tickets are sold out. I think it's standing room only is left over. That's it.
If they do come to New
they
York,
have an amazing card.
Yeah.
If they do come to New York, I gotta talk to my parents. I would love to see MLW live.
MLW.
And besides, the roster that was on that show you went to, I saw it on Instagram. They had Gabby Gilbert. They had, oh my God, they had so many people.
Mother Endless versus Rhea Ripley. There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody said.
Yeah. So yeah, Gabby Gilbert. Did you get a chance to talk to Gabby Gilbert? Because she's been on here before. She was so awesome. We loved Gabby.
MLW.
I think she was. Was it MLW? They were at the ECW arena. Was that MLW?
I don't know what promotion.
I don't think it was MLW because we only had Holly Dead, Willow Nightingale.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong promotion because they were at the ECW arena. There was a picture of Gabby with like blood on her face, and I was like, maybe that was the show.
Maybe it was. I know they were here for the Icons convention, and they usually do a show after. I'm not sure if like there was anything else. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was just about to say Eric James versus AJ Styles. Or Adam Cole would be good.
I'm trying to think. I know I'm trying to think of more wrestlers. Oh my gosh.
And then women's match, I gotta think of that one.
I would have Trish Stratus versus Tina San Antonio.
Do you know what Tina San Antonio is, or
Sounds familiar. Like if I saw pictures, like then I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who that is.
Tina San Antonio's character is kind of like she's like almost like prissy, or even her stance is like that. Everywhere
thought
she goes, everyone knows.
I thought she was like a teacher. Her gimmick.
It is a teacher, but why would you do this? I guess teachers would tell you how to keep your head up.
Because remember, her stable is the administration.
Yeah, like maybe she's the principal in that, and the other guys are the teachers. I don't know. Yeah. So who would you say right now, out of all the indie scenes, who do you think is like the hottest stable that's around right now?
Ooh. Um. Oh god, that's a tough one because there's a lot of people. Um, this is a hard one to think about. I don't know. Can we come back to that question?
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
I get it. I did. I didn't mean to do that. I just was trying to throw log on the fire and it ended up blowing my eyebrows and my mustache away.
You can ask you a double question.
Okay.
Remember, you could ask us stuff too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say maybe I don't know if it would be like I mean they are technically independent even though they are an NWA as well. I would say the End. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
Hmm. Never
Not,
heard
not
of it.
really.
Oh, I got a question for
Or
you. So what was it?
I'd say
Oh, sorry. Go geek, and then I'll say.
I was gonna say that the high stable is right now Dark Order.
oh, they're really good.
Dark Order.
Geek always says that to me. He says Joe's gonna turn on me and join the Dark Order. Hit me in the back of the head and then put the chair down as Geek falls, and I'm just like,
Especially with possibly Hangman winning the title on Saturday.
yeah.
The show should be a good one Saturday.
He's Geek's going to the one that's gonna be in New York. That's what he said. He keeps saying. I don't know if he's gonna go or not. Did you buy the
Which
tickets?
one?
Or?
Which one? Oh, on Victory Pro or
No, the
December 8th?
yeah, the one for AEW. You said you were gonna
Yeah,
go.
I'm going December 8th. Yeah.
Yep.
At the UBS Arena. So.
Yeah.
I know they are coming back to Jersey, so that would be interesting to go see. I've never been to an actual AEW live event, so maybe to go there, we'll see what happens.
Oh,
You go to the last one that was here or
No, I didn't. I forget what was going on around that time. I thought about going, but I forget, what ended up happening. So no, I didn't get to attend.
I was at the show at Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's freaking
I
crazy.
heard that one was really good. I know my boss actually went to that show, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have
Insane. Insane. I'm going to say that. Craziest show I've ever went to. So.
So, do you have any funny stories from the road?
Oh my god.
Did they get you in trouble?
Yeah, I do travel out. I went to obviously St. Louis in August for NWA Empower. Um, I think that was kind of funny, like getting the Uber drivers asking you what do you do, and you're telling them you work in the professional wrestling industry as like a broadcaster, and they want to know everything. But I think what was funny was when we found out that we had to be paparazzi for Melina that night, and Elle and I rushed back to our hotel room to like get like our portable chargers because we had to come back to rehearse. We found out like last minute that we're going to be in the show and we have to come back to rehearse. So I did not bring anything all black with me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. I really didn't bring anything with me all black, so I remember like Ella, please, like we need to stop by a store. I need to get like a black t-shirt and like black leggings. Like I can't wear this on stage like if we do this. And she goes, "Oh my God, Samira, we have to get there. Like, we're gonna run out of time." I'm like, "No, no, we just have to stop. Like, please, like, I'm gonna be so quick. Like, I know exactly what I'm getting." And we like run in there and like it quickly go and like, oh my God, and then just waiting for the Uber to get back. And the best part was, we get there and we rehearse, and then the whole time left. We didn't really need to go back. We didn't need to be changed and ready because it was still like a couple hours before the show. So then we ended up finding out like, oh, you just didn't even need the thing at all. And I'm like, we could have had more time, but it was fine because then we got to chill with our friends. We sat, we Uber Eats food, and it was a good time because then we got to see some of the wrestlers in the area anyway, and we got to talk with a few of them, and it was ended up being a good night.
Yeah, I saw that on what's it, Ella's Instagram saying that like I think she had Instagram live saying that it rained and I think it flooded the roads out or whatever.
Oh yeah, so it was Monday. It was the day after 73. We were there for a taping that night. They were doing a taping Monday and Tuesday, and in the day it was fine. Her and I were on her live together. We were talking, and I was trying to stay because I was gonna leave that day at like 4 o'clock, and suddenly it got so dark out. It poured and it flooded there, and everybody, our Uber driver, saying they've never seen it like this here. Never does this, and I ended up not getting on my plane, and I was on standby for another plane. Thank God, like I didn't have to pay any money. I was on standby, so I did get to stay for the taping, and I got to hang out with everybody. But yeah, it was really bad that it caused me. I didn't think my plane was gonna go, but it did. But they were on the runway for hours. They got delayed for hours. I was like, thank God I wasn't on the plane delayed for hours, and I got to stay and go to the show and hang out with everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
you stayed safe.
How many? Sorry,
So keep going, Gabe.
how many tapings did you stay for exactly?
So it was only Empower was on Saturday, 73 was Sunday, and then I only stayed for the Monday night tapings, and then they had Tuesday night tapings, but I had already left by 5 o'clock in the morning Tuesday morning. So like we didn't stay. I wanted to stay, but at the time I thought I had to come back home for work. So and like that's when my plane left. So and Ella was already leaving Tuesday morning anyway. There was no way for us to stay. We needed to get home to rest up to go back to work.
Imagine that, geek. We like we're doing all this and we got chosen to go to an event and then I'm like, I gotta go to work on Monday. What are we nuts? I'm like, yeah, like I
That-
work in a grocery store. Geek works for Coca-Cola. Just imagine the next real life. I don't want to do the truck. I'm so tired. You were
Oh,
traveling, bro.
Oh, and look, there she is in the chat right there, my best
There's
friend.
the famous, the legendary
Ella,
Ella J.
That's
What's
my
going on,
best
friend?
friend.
the
The
two
cool,
legendaries, right?
the legend Ella. So we're trying to game plan for next year's SummerSlam or a upcoming pay per view. If you're up for it, Ella, if Geek's available, if he doesn't go, let's game plan for maybe the Survivor Series. We could do a pre-show, a warm-up, a pump-up show for the Survivor Series.
If I don't go,
If Geek doesn't go and if Samira is available, we should do a pump-up show. A prediction, not a pump-up, a prediction show.
you can call it pump up show. The same.
Prediction.
People get excited, so there you go.
It
You know,
would be fun because we all are so knowledgeable in wrestling in different ways. Like Ella, she does the stuff that she does. Samira, you have knowledge in doing interviews like us, like that, and you could toss in your insight and what your feelings are. It's like we all have when we do. Well, now this we've been doing this since March, and like we've learned so many little things from different podcasters that it's so cool to know that we're not in this alone.
Mhm.
Because in the beginning, I was like, man, none of these people are gonna like us.
they're all gonna
No,
hate
they don't
us.
like us. They don't like us. We're outsiders. We're like the old school Raven. We have no friends. Nobody
No,
likes
no,
us.
we're actually like the NWO Joe,
Yeah.
right?
Well, if for me, the dirty heels, like they normally people like let you in the front of the frat house. They're like, come back this way, man. We're about to get beat up, Joe Lance. No. they opened the window and let us through the back window, and then I was like, "Come on, guys, get in!" like we learned, we feel like we were invited into the podcast family now. Like meeting you and Ella and stuff like that makes us feel like we're even more part of the family of the podcast world. You know?
It's nice, like there is a big community of podcasts for wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling media nowadays, so it's nice to be like inclusive, very inclusive, and everybody like helps each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have any like tips for us that like you could help us get further, like thing you could teach us more, because we're always open to learn something.
I would say like tips to help you. Obviously, you guys like seem to have obviously like the right equipment and how you handle your interviews and like researching your person, your interviewee, like more about them to find out other things about them that you could ask that normally people don't ask. Um, and just like being cool with them, don't ask anything that maybe that's too intrusive or anything. Like that's usually what I do, and just most importantly have fun, because that's what it's all about.
Mhm. What would you say your favorite match is in the indies and mainstream?
Okay, mainstream, I know this like right off the bat. It's Randy Orton versus Mick Foley, which I believe was Mankind at the time when they had their match. The thumbtacks, all that good stuff. That's my favorite match. Indies would be, oh my god, oh my god. There's a lot, especially as of late. Uh, I don't know. Because
Oh,
I think of like so many. Because I love the indies.
I love the indies.
Ella said her Wi-Fi cut out. I apologize.
It's okay, buddy. We can't get mad at Ella. Ella J is a legend.
She's super cool.
Ella is the best, and she
She's the
killed
cool.
it today.
Ella is
She's
Ella goes
Randy.
Randy Orton's a legend.
Well, I have a story about Randy Orton that happened. You may go, Joe, no. We were at Madison Square Garden after a show. People are
Oh,
getting
shit.
autographs. Randy Orton walks out. Oh, Geek, why are you doing?
I think I've heard this story before.
Yeah, this is a hot one. This is a bing bong situation, like on TikTok, like Twitter. We're standing there, people are getting autographed. Randy walks across the street. Somebody grabs Randy's arm, and this is a no-no for anybody watching this podcast.
They grabbed his arm.
Yes, they grabbed his arm across the street from the freaking garden. Grabbed his arm, and he looked. I was on the other side of the street by the garden. The person looked. I could hear him from across the street. Get the fuck off me! And the person was like, and he like just walked. Yeah, I went to the parking lot.
Why would somebody touch him? Like they don't know you. Why would you touch them? Like they're doing their business. Like that's just weird.
I grabbed
I
his arm.
mean,
This is young Randy too. This is when he still had that shaggy hairstyle on top too.
I could see why Randy gets pissed off a lot. Like some of the fans taking pictures of him and stuff like that. I mean, the best thing to do is ask if you could take a picture. You know what I mean? Not
You
to
have
take a
to be
picture.
respectful of them on their off time or even on their on time. You still need to be respectful towards them and like ask them, hey, can I take a picture? Hey, like, can I do this? And not like grab them or force them, because like that's just rude, because they're people too. Even though obviously we see them on TV and stuff, but they're people as well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And they
I
deserve
didn't
their
know.
time.
I got worried telling you that story. I don't want you to be like, that's my favorite. No, but like I knew, like, hey, thanks.
Make sure you
Like
follow.
follow and make sure you hit that heart. Oh, I always hit my heart with the fireball on top. Firework. Like I just feel sometimes fans go a little bit overboard, and it's not just the adults; it's the kids. Like that time that kid when they were what's name that just got fired by WWE was carrying um oh my god.
Did you see the thing that he did recently, Randy Orton, or no?
Oh,
No.
I saw that on Twitter on my
The
timeline.
kid was being trampled, and the kid and Randy Orton stopped to the side, says, "Are you okay? You okay? You okay?"
Trampled? What?
Yeah,
Yeah, at the UK show.
some kid
What?
got trampled at the UK show, and Randy Orton stopped what he was doing, went over to the kid and asked if he was okay.
Mm.
So
I didn't even know they were in the UK. I guess they traveled two different groups, maybe? I guess we're doing podcasts on the days for SmackDown now. So we're always doing our shows on SmackDown and Raw's days. So we're like, only thing I catch is NXT. And I'm like, NXT is on. Like, I'll watch NXT. Especially, I'm the old school guy on the podcast. I'm a big Steiner Brothers. That's one of my all-time favorite tag teams is the Steiner Brothers. And seeing Rick Steiner's son now in the main business, and it's funny because they have that meme about him. They're saying it's they use that Digimon card, have Rick and Scott, and they put mixed, and it's like Rick and Scott in the same body. It's like, wow, he doesn't need a tag team partner. He's a one-man tag team. He's his dad's outfit with Rick's outfit with Scott's finisher. Like, who needs a partner?
I was just about to say Kenny Omega versus Okada was my favorite match of all time. Number 4.
My favorite match of all time has to be Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero Halloween Havoc. Yeah, that match. Oof. Took down the house. For a cruiserweight match to bring down the house at a WCW Halloween Havoc when it was all about Stings and the Hogans, and they just brought down the house with that match. The fans were like that made me love Rey Mysterio even more. Like crazy. Anything else, Geek?
You got anything, Joe? I just want.
Do you collect anything?
I would say the only thing I collect is when I go to any show, if I have like a wristband or they give me a lanyard or something. So here I have from the past show at War Chamber, my press pass. I like keep every single thing that I get. So like I said, my War Chamber press pass, Fightlands press pass, wristbands from beforehand. I keep every single thing. If I write down any interview questions for in person and there are no cards, I keep those. Yeah, that's what I kind of collect, like stuff that I've done in the past for broadcasting and wrestling.
Luke's favorite match is John Cena versus The Rock from WrestleMania 29.
I was about to say which one. There was two of them. Two of them did that match twice.
It was twice in a lifetime, right there.
You never know. We may get another one before when Cena decides to hang up the oh my gosh, when Cena finally decides to hang up those shorts, his dad shorts.
And favorite women's match would have to be Bayley versus Sasha, NXT Takeover Brooklyn. I don't think any match could come close to that match. I mean, there are, but
my favorite women's match. Well, you go first. You're the guest.
Oh wow! Oh my god! There's been so many over the years, and I forgot about the one. I haven't watched that one in a long time, so I forgot about that. Oh my god. You go first. I still need time to think about this because I just think of so many.
Oh, mine is the match that since I'm Mr. Old School on the podcast. The match that always sticks it's rent free in my head is Lita versus Trish, the main event of Raw. I think that's when Lita hurt her neck, right? I think
Yeah.
that match sits rent free in my head forever because they
Mercedes
were the
versus Kylie at Rise is amazing.
First ever main event on Monday Night Raw, and they just brought down the house and Lita hurt her neck. But I think she still won the match too, right? Or did they have Trish win? I can't remember. It was so far back, but I remember that match. It's just like,
I think mine. favorite as of late has been Camille versus legit Layla Hirsch. That one was awesome to see live. So and they just like took down the house with that match. It was amazing.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay.
Favorite match you've seen live?
Oh my god, it always changes because every time I go to a show, I'm like, oh my god, that match was so good. Oh my god.
If you could, like I said, you could do a top 5 if you want to name a couple more. A couple. You don't have to do like your
Just
best
one.
match because you won.
Okay, I know. I would definitely say again, Camille and Layla Hirsch was definitely one of them. Oh my god, I've seen so many wrestling matches live, so it's like hard to like pinpoint like one and then all of them at the same time. You're just like, oh my god, I've seen so many. How am I gonna choose one out of all of them? And plus, I've seen so many that I kind of forget some of them. Oh, I'm trying to think if there was one of the WrestleMania matches that I can't even remember. Oh my god, there's just a lot. Like I loved everything. I think Batista versus Triple H at Mania was really good. Um, oh, definitely Kofi and Daniel Bryan. That was an
Yep,
amazing moment. I
We were
definitely,
loved
there.
that. And
definitely
being
were there.
there, oh my god, being there was
When
like a
coffee
whole
won, oh
different
my,
experience.
yeah, when coffee won,
Go
holy crap!
back to you go to my Instagram page, Samira, and I made a reaction and I put it on my Instagram, and my reaction was priceless. And the red lights were right on my face, so it's like it looked like I was having a meltdown. I was like, "One, two,
Yeah, that one was awesome live. I definitely freaked out for Thugonomics because I had tweeted a couple weeks back that I had thought Kurt Angle would have picked John Cena and as like the Doctor of Thugonomics because like his John Cena's first match as you know I don't think Prototype was it still Prototype I can't remember was
I
with
was
Kurt
very
Angle.
disappointed. I was
So
very
then when
disappointed.
yeah, so like when the whole thing was going with Elias in the ring, and then the promo was happening, and one of my cousins had heard Chicago, and so the whole section I was in started screaming CM Punk because when they heard Chicago, and I'm like, no way, no, like it's not happening. And so then when John Cena came out as Thugonomics, I start freaking out because I love that version of Cena, so I lose my mind. I'm screaming. I think I probably gave myself a headache, but I was just so excited to experience it live. Since I was like young when he had all that, so having that live as I'm older was like the best experience ever.
Hmm.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say my top 5. I'm gonna have to. I have a lot of them, so I'm gonna get a lot of years of experience
Hmm.
from watching the wrestling shows. I would say Samoa Joe, CM Punk, number 3. I was there with him to
Yep.
see. Yeah, we're there.
Rexplex, right?
The Rexplex in New Jersey.
I think it's gone.
We
I think they knocked that place down and became an IKEA.
I, I think it's IKEA or Target now in Jersey. So I'd say Dan, Daniel Bryan, well, Brian Danielson versus Kenny Omega from Arthur Ashe is probably another one I experienced live. And Gargant, Shawn Michaels versus SummerSlam, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H SummerSlam 2002, the non-sanctioned match, and versus um, Gargano versus Cole from NXT Takeover, the New York, and Bailey Sasha, top 5 favorite matches.
Okay. Now it's
Joe?
the Panthers' turn to have his fun on the stand. My number 5 match goes back. You think you'd be my number 1, but it's number 5. Some SummerSlam 91, Mr. Perfect versus the excellence of execution, Mr. Bret the Hitman Hart for the Intercontinental title, which that's another match that sits in my head rent free
You were
forever.
there. You were there, right?
I wasn't there, but I just
No,
watched
we're,
the
we're talking favorite
when we
experience.
were there.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 5 would be Undertaker versus Kane
WrestleMania.
Undertaker versus Kane WrestleMania 20. I was there. I actually got a chance to or sitting. My seats are right on the by the gorilla position, so I saw the Taker waiting for the sound for him to come through the curtain. Number 4 stays at that event It is the match that should not be talked about. Shawn Michaels, Benoit, and Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. Number 4 goes to a SummerSlam from Nassau Coliseum. Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle.
I was there too for that
Yes, even though we didn't know each other.
one.
Hulk Hogan's return to Madison Square Garden for the first time at the Super Show.
It wasn't a match, but I get it. That was a great moment. That was a great moment.
I sometimes in the dark when I'm trying to go to bed, I hear the sound of that "Oh my God" crowd in the garden. Out of nowhere, cheer. I freak out and jump out of bed, run. Oh my gosh, what do we have to number 3 now?
Yeah.
What was I? Oh, the first time Gail Kim debuted in Nassau Coliseum is her debut with WWE. I was there when she first debuted in a dark match. I forgot who she faced, but she did win. Number 2. Oh my God, who would be number 2? Okay. I think I would stay at that SummerSlam, that WrestleMania. Although the WrestleMania we and you went to, WrestleMania 35, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
Mhm.
That's number 2. And number 1 would have to be the match that Lance at Metal Geek said with CM Punk versus Samoa Joe.
Probably one of the greatest title matches I've ever seen live.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem. All right. All right. We could. All right. We. All right. If you have to go, you can go.
Thanks so much for coming on, by the way.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I hear you.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
You're
we
here.
hear you.
Mary, we can hear you.
I can't hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear
Yeah.
you fine.
We hear
What's
you.
up?
Hello?
I hear
Yeah.
you.
I don't know if you guys are saying anything. I literally can't hear. I don't know what is going on.
Uh-oh.
Probably on
Can
her end.
anybody hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
We hear you.
Hello?
We hear you. Oh.
Okay, it just came back in. I did not
All right.
it went out for like
Yeah.
a minute or two.
Yeah, if you have to go.
If you have to
to
go,
go.
that's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just like saw that I'm getting an emergency call. They usually do not call me when I'm busy, so I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're cool. We're cool. We're good. We can catch up on another dude. All right.
All right. If anything, you guys can donate to us at http://streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. http://streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. Will we be back Sunday, right, Joe?
Yes,
Or
with Geeks of the Ring. See you guys then.
Nerds of the Ring?
Nerds of the Ring.
Later.